Audio Jungle.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Posh Cat Eyes Unfiltered. It is episode 30 of Married at First Sight, and this week we're calling it Reflection Week. Now, just before we count down to final vows, we take a look back to where it all began, and it is interesting to see how far these 5 couples have come on the show. I mean, they have weathered the storm and just ride it out through all of the ups and downs, the dramas and the chaos, and now they're here, and they will be analyzing how far they have all come as individuals and as couple in the experiment to help them with their final decision of committing to one another as they move into the real world. And again, the decision can also be, let's not be together, we are good apart. And just before the task commences, we recap on the night that was. Selena wants to know if they are going or where they are at the moment, and if they are going on the outside in an open relationship. Now, Selena is very needy, guys. So when she comes up with this ridiculous chart, it weirds me out. And no surprise, Cody literally just gave her blank. There was nothing coming out from Cody. Dude wanted the coffee. He woke up in the morning and the only thing he was thinking about was his coffee, not if they're gonna be having an open relationship or a closed relationship once they get out the experiment. Again, I know she wants to define the relationship so bad, and I guess you find out in Final Vows, Selena. That's why it is called Final Vows. Just, you're needy, chill a little bit, not too long, you're gonna get the decision that you're looking for. Cody isn't emotionally intuitive to be the one to reassure her, so it's not going anywhere for this two. We'll get to checking on them with the task that's ahead, as we still have to scrape through the barrel with what is left of the drama that is Olivia. The couples are still trying to unpack the shock feedback that came out from Olivia's mouth, and the couples are worried, for Jackson. Well, so are we, people. We are worried sick. The guy is already under her spell and is being manipulated and controlled by her. Well, anyway, I don't know. While Dom and Jack are exhausted from the 3 weeks of emotional torture, no surprise there, guys, we we get to revisit Olivia as well. Like, oh look, who's still victim, feeling like she's the victim here. Olivia woke up to a new day, still crying with a fake tissue in her hands, and she's still not able to understand where she's gone wrong or take any responsibility whatsoever. Someone truly needs to get a grip. Like, I think she needs a psych evaluation, because she's gone from being a sociopath to just being mentally unwell, in my opinion. Anyway, this is alleged, okay? So don't crucify me, because I mean, like, no sane person will behave the way she's behaving. Someone is truly invested in someone else's life. I don't think that's normal. Like, we can be invested in a show, yes, but to be that invested weeks and weeks on end about someone's life, and not in a good way, it's very telling. I don't know about you, but I think it is telling. And let's just see how she ages with this one. I don't know if I can be this bitter 24/7, 7 days a week, for close to a month. It is a lot. Or don't you reckon? It is very hard to stay angry and bitter at someone compared to, creating and defining peace and being peaceful. Trust me, it takes a lot more energy to be angry than the energy you need to be at peace. And again, it keeps the wrinkles away, guys. We don't need all of that extra, animosity, rage, vile, bitter feelings. No, we don't. Olivia, please take a chill pill, or just let it go, let it go, let it go. So we begin the tags for reflection week, and Brent and Tamara are up first. Now the tags basically is, first impression challenge, where those couples were, asked what they thought on the first day when they met their stranger couple or their stranger partner. And so it's kind of interesting because not all of them had the nicest of things to say about each other, or as we got to see with Tamara. Tamara actually went first. We got to see Tamara's first impression video play out. She literally, she went all in for Brent. She basically said Brent wasn't what she wanted. He was short, she felt he likes her more. She picked up on that real quick, which, as you all know, is the truth. As well as the fact that she wasn't feeling his job description. She did say one positive thing though, that he was a nice guy. To that, Brent was like, okay, I can manage that. Let's scrape through all of this positivity however we can find it, right? Yeah, Brent's first impression about Tamara was like, he likes her eyes, he likes her smile, those superficial things. And we also revisit that fit phobia that he had. It was just funny to play that back because dude was literally petrified, filled with anxiety over the possibility of seeing a ridiculous or a horrible feet. But I guess, they've moved past the feet phobia, they've moved past ugly, beautiful, good-looking feet to the real issues, which is as it should. We move on to Ella and Mitch. Now, first impression, Ella scores him a 10. We all knew how Ella was feeling on the day, and Mitch was taken by her beauty as well. So it's being consistent with these two. Cody and Selena's first impression, on the other hand, I have to laugh there, just give me a second, guys. Well, Selena was really desperate at the time, and if you saw that video, or like I watched it, it was pretty brutal. She was so desperate, it wasn't funny, and it showed. She was already into him. She was literally already in cloud 9. She was in love already, and no surprise that Cody, did not feel the same way. According to him, she wasn't his type. He wasn't too ecstatic as she was. He couldn't even understand why she was that into him. He could literally smell her desperation and neediness, and all hell just broke loose from there because Selena just chucked a little bit of sook, and she wasn't like feeling it. But you guys have been here at the early start of the show. You guys revisited all of this issue with the question from the mystery or whatever revelation box you guys had. So why are you again sucking? It's not a good look. Just stop with desperate. I don't like it. I guess Cody did try to make an attempt to cheer her up and reassure her. Honestly, if a guy, or if whatever, if you're in a relationship and you keep needing that reassurance, it's just gonna tire your partner out. You don't need all of that reassurance, reaffirmation every 2 seconds of the day. It does help to make you, feel secure in your relationship, but it doesn't have to be every 2 minutes. We all have a life, We all need to think about everything else other than how I make you feel or how you need to make me feel. But again, I digress. We move on to Domenica and Jack. First impression tags. This is so beautiful to watch. Dom, according to Dom, she found him as her everything. The connection was there from the start. They connected over the fact that they were Italians, they love dogs, they were both smitten for each other, and there is no surprise. That spark is still what is keeping that relationship strong and ongoing. Jack was the same. He found her beautiful from the start. They both shared great feedback about each other, and that's the beautiful story they've both shared in this experiment. Their relationship has been tested, tried, and I have a feeling that they might make it work, outside of the experiment, and that's just me being very hopeful and fingers crossing for them, because they do need to work. We like them together. I like them together. Well, over to the people I really don't like talking about much, Olivia and Jackson. Well, they did took into each other. They did take to each other from the start. No surprise there. If only they let the focus be on their love story and not about creating drama and tension, their story would have been, an amazing story off of the, of the show. And that's me being genuine about it. They have a good love story. They have a good thing going. But I guess personality just, you can't hide personality for too long. You can't hide ugly for too long. It only takes a matter of time. It does take time, but then it eventually comes out and reveals itself in a spectacular grand style, which in this case we have been watching and trying to decipher how it has come to be for a beautiful girl as Olivia, to be this vicious. I really don't know. Well, moving on now to the second tag for the day. They gave this challenge was about the couple giving other couples positive or negative critique or feedback on their relationship, and as well as giving them something to walk through that would help them weather the storm in their relationship. Well, Tamara and Brent again went first. They will be writing a letter to Ella and Mitch, and in the letter, according to Tamara, Ella's insecurity is coming to the fore. She feels Mitch isn't making her feel secure, or she is, having so much insecurity that it is overshadowing Mitch feeling, or it's taking a lot more for her to just, set herself free and just ride and enjoy the relationship. The question they have for them was the fact that they did not think they've got trust for each other, and they did accompany it with a challenge, and their challenge was that they each should have their phones for 5 minutes. And Ella at first felt it was rude to check on her partner's phone. Mitch was like, I'm doing it, I trust you 100%. Ella went on to look through Mitch's phone and found there was a vault file that Mitch was like, you're not getting into that file. That file has got all the skeletons the world can, that can actually cause World War III. So no way I'm gonna get into that file. So again, this created the distrust that Tamara and Brent were alluding to, and it just went downhill from there. It doesn't really look like they are going to resolve that issue on this episode tonight. But again, it brings to the core as to what they already identified. They know where they are. They know the insecurity that lies and the mistrust and the distrust that lies ahead, given the fact that they're going to be in a long distance relationship. And as you know, if there's no trust, there's no long distance relationship. That I can tell you for a fact. Olivia and Jackson, as well as Domenica, have received the feedback tax challenge, and they will be preparing pen paling each other, as the case may be. Damn, I just at one point I sort of held my breath, because I just felt this was not going to go well. But Dom and Jank went in not sure if it will be constructive criticism or it would just be a vent session, but they did really try hard, and they had a good, I guess, feedback out of whatever letter they wrote. She wasn't Olivia, on the other hand, wasn't ready to participate. She felt she didn't have any energy to give to the two couples. Jackson sort of nudged her to participate, which she eventually did. Let's try and read both letters, for just to make it a little bit easier. Jack and Dom, they had their letter first. Basically, they felt Jack has been sidelined in the relationship by Domenica's drama, and the expectation was for Jack to let Dom know the things he needs from Dom, which sort of, they both agree. Jack went in and said his feelings wasn't reciprocated as much as he would like. He also needs validation from Domenica, and he needs the relationship to be defined before they exit the show. I mean, those are three fair questions that I would be seeking from a partner, and Domenica agreed and said she has a lot more work to do, going forward, and for it to, move or progress seamlessly into the outside world. So kudos to them. It's now Olivia and Jackson's turn to hear from Dom and Jack. Basically, the feedback for this couple was they felt that the level of codependency between them was unhealthy, and they were challenged to live apart for 24 hours. Yes, guys, imagine that. Jack, all too keen to have the day off without Olivia, and Olivia did not like the idea, but it does say something about the way other couples can see what we do not see. And is she controlling? Hell yes, very controlling. It is not even 3 hours into the challenge and drunk Olivia came out to play. She was already in her feelings, stressed without her handbag, that is Jackson. She literally became furious, filled with rage. And then we got to see Jackson, all in his strides, feeling, comfortable as happy to actually have a break, and just reflect on where he's at, which I think we all need from time to time in our relationship. Where are we at? I need space to refigure, to feel you again, feel you out, miss you in the relationship, build something out of it, and then come together and just love on each other again. But Olivia did not see the positive side of the challenge. She just felt that Domenica wanted them apart. Again, girl, it's not really about you, So it's morning and we can see Olivia probably didn't sleep last night, the night prior. She is miserable, angry, and it's now questioning why she's still in the experiment and wants to control John's mind, essentially manipulate him into exiting the experiment. Imagine that. So it's a clear signal as to who this chick really is. You can't fake this. You can't. She just is not a nice person. Like, she isn't. How else do we describe it? She's not. In my opinion, she is a toddler. This is 24 hours of separation. What could go wrong? Jackson, on the other hand, was so happy to even have a gym session to himself. He was literally full of beans, celebrating the fact that he missed his partner and he will be seeing her soon. As soon as Jackson walked back into the apartment, the joy was sucked out of him. You could see all the energy he had managed to muster from 24 hours was just drained right out of this poor guy. There was no welcome. The welcome was short-lived to the point where she started venting and raging about how the show was out to get her, or it was basically us against the producers of the show, or us against everyone else. Like, how self-absorbed can one be? And she went back to victim blaming Domenica for all her woes. Really, girl? What a lunatic. What a lunatic. She needs to be institutionalized. Yeah. Called it. She just needs to I feel she needs to relax. She needs a break. Let's give it to her. She does need a break. For real. It ends with, a sneak peek of what's to come in tomorrow's episode, which we are tagging as the final date episode. We get to see how these couples, navigate the one last romance with each other. So, until then, stay safe, guys. Bye for now.